There's a problem though. Something that actually is works best if it is seen and acknowledged. Now we're using this word acknowledge, you know. Doesn't mean acceptance. Doesn't mean, oh, I have to give up my fear because you're not afraid. Yeah? It's not asking that. It's simply saying, together we can say, you are like this right now, and I am like this right now. And we can almost guarantee you, but of course you can never always guarantee anything, that when you find that conversation of we are the same, be it very personal or global, is not aligning, is not being responded to, it might be a clue, aha, someone needs to be acknowledged just as they are now, before there can be any movement to what else they might be. We have to start with honoring and acknowledging, I see how you are different. I see how you are not like me. You don't have to be like me. Oh, whew, good, that's great. I really don't want to be like you. And from that place, permission to be as one is, in that moment, you can then bring the conversation in language and energy back to, but you know, underneath it, you know, here we are, we're sitting in this room together. Might be a bunch of weirdos, or we're not like them, but we're not exactly like each other, too. Okay, and you can begin to build the language of what indeed might be our commonalities. A way to do this also is for you to remember your own direct experience, which we feel everyone in this room has really had, of unity. That moment of feeling connected with all there is. So if you can have a emotional, let's call it even mystical trust in that there is this interconnection, that can support you in riding the waves of difference, in not needing the person to be like you in every way or at first. I can see you as different, and I'm happy to find how we are alike, and I know that no matter what ends up and what we say and what we do, that to me, and we'll say this to us, the nature of reality is the interconnection, the wholeness of all reality. It can sit as a pulsing background for you. And this is why this principle shows up again and again in spiritual philosophies, in philosophy, in science. Again and again, indicators bring up language, bring up archetypes, bring up images of an incredible interconnection of all things. Let it simply be a flavor of your complex stew of life. Know that it's just embedded in the broth of your life. Let it support you. Let it diminish from your attention if that's what occurs, and trust it will arise and come back to your attention. and consider that sometimes the way to find connection is to really begin with the acknowledgement of this difference, of disconnection. So this has been our little thinking about that's come up in the sessions we've done this week while we've been in the Washington, D.C. area. So now we want all of you to work with us. So please, first question, and what we'd like you to do is to say sort of like Orion so we can hear you, and we'll choose who will be speaking. All right? First question?
Orion?
Yes.
I would like to say I'm very happy to be able to see you again today. It's been a very long time, and it is my honor, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. My question is, I'm retiring at the end of this month, and I'm trying to buy a house. I want this house very badly. There is another person involved who also wants this house. Not as bad as me, because that's not possible. And what you said was what greatly resonated. I'm trying to empathize with the person who is selling the house, and not, for the past week it's been, well, he doesn't understand how much I want this house. I need this house. I want to be here. I want to be there. I want to be there. So I'm like, okay, well, let's change that frame of mind. But I really would like to know if I am meant to have this house, if I will be able to get this house, and if it's the right place for me to be, and if I want this house.
What is the reality situation that you're aware of why the decision has not yet been made?
Probably because there is another individual involved who also
right. So, but
wants
what
this
are they
house.
doing? Are they putting more money? What do they tell you why they have? You see, they haven't rejected your offer. So, what is the?
No, they haven't really rejected it, but apparently, this other person's offer is better than mine because I have a home to sell. He doesn't.
Oh, so
I
you
think.
have a
So,
contingency, yeah?
yes, and I don't think this other person does. So the seller is kind of leaning towards this other person, so he can sell quicker.
Right. But the seller feels connection with you. Yeah?
That I don't know.
Well, if the seller didn't feel connection with you, then it would already be a moot point. Unless there's something about the other person's offer where they don't have a house to sell, but perhaps their financing or something is not as strong. Okay? So that's some of the reality factors. We'd love to say, oh yeah, going to be yours. But you know we weren't going to say that way. Okay.
Yes.
So this is really one of these places where you have to consider trusting, and you don't have to be happy about it. Trust doesn't always mean smile. The reality, what will happen. Yes, this is the perfect house, this seems your house, all of these things.